For many nations in sub-Saharan Africa, this wasn't just a thought experiment. From the 1950s through the 1980s, as colonial empires crumbled, newly independent African nations were searching for a path forward. They provided weapons for liberation movements, funding for massive infrastructure projects, and scholarships for tens of thousands of African students. Let's look at some key examples. Who backed them? The Soviet Union and Cuba. They supplied weapons, training, and eventually, Cuban troops, which were crucial in repelling invasions from apartheid South Africa. This wasn't just about geopolitics. For many Angolans, this support was the lifeline that secured their nation's sovereignty. Similarly, in Mozambique, the Frelimo movement received significant Soviet aid in its fight for independence. After gaining freedom, both nations declared themselves Marxist-Leninist states, aligning firmly with the Eastern Bloc. But it wasn't just about war and revolution. The Soviet cultural and educational influence was immense. Thousands of young, bright Africans were sent to universities in Moscow, Kyiv, and Leningrad. Imagine a young student from a small village in Congo suddenly walking the halls of Moscow State University, learning a new language, a new ideology, and skills that were desperately needed back home. Soviet architects and city planners even helped design new urban centers, envisioning socialist cities of the future rising from African soil. The planned economies, which looked so good on paper, frequently failed to adapt to local conditions. In Ethiopia, the brutal Derg regime, heavily backed by the Soviets, unleashed the Red Terror, a campaign of violence that killed countless people. The dream of a socialist utopia often turned into a nightmare of political repression and economic hardship. The human cost was staggering. Millions died, and entire generations grew up knowing nothing but war. Regimes that had relied on Moscow's backing suddenly found themselves isolated and vulnerable. The statues of Lenin were torn down, and a new era began. But the Soviet legacy didn't just disappear. It's woven into the very fabric of modern Africa. It lives on in the Russian-speaking doctors and engineers who are now in their 60s and 70s. Understanding this period is crucial because it challenges the simple narrative of the Cold War as a bipolar struggle between Washington and Moscow. Revisiting the Soviet moment in sub-Saharan Africa is a powerful reminder that history is never black and white. It's a messy, complicated, and deeply human story. It's a story of hope, struggle, and the enduring quest for freedom and self-determination. By exploring this forgotten chapter, we gain a much richer understanding of both the Cold War and the forces that continue to shape the African continent today. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what you think about this complex legacy. See you next time.